I was a really big kid. Like, I was a size 16 in pants in the 8th grade. Um, and I think between high school, I was between like a size 16 and 20. And I was a really thick kid growing up. And I was really small at first, maybe until I was about maybe 8 is when I started like really picking up a lot of weight. Um, I know that the reason I picked up weight a lot as a kid was because I became addicted to food, and I use food as a comfort. Food was comforting to me because it was consistent in my life, and there was like a euphoric feel of like goodness when I ate something good. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it was a snack, whether it was a treat, whether it was just a delicious meal. Like food almost felt like a reward. And I went back and thought about, and I've had some conversations with my mom too. Like my mom used to brag that I could eat a Big Mac as a kid. That's not good. Like that's not good. And like as I got bigger, my mom would then make very negative comments about my body. And that hurt. So that would put me more into the emotional eating thing. Like I want to feel good. I don't want to keep feeling bad. As a kid, I don't necessarily have the skills to necessarily then lose the weight. It's not like, and not the skills because it's not about just what you're ingesting, right? And it's not about going outside to exercise for 30 minutes or an hour. I could do all of that. But then if I'm waking up because I'm having an emotional roller coaster at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm sneaking to go downstairs or to go into the kitchen to just have a snack so I can feel good and sleep, like that's not good because food became the thing that felt good. I feel like when parents have not done certain steps towards healing, they cannot identify the signs and signals that something might be emotionally wrong with my child because they have not dealt with their emotional issues. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's their past experience, and whether they're choosing to ignore it or if they feel like, well, I wouldn't do this, so my child isn't going to do this, like that's not how life works, right? That's you're a completely different person from your child. But I'm saying that to say, parents, you have to heal. You have to heal because the things that you cast on your children affects them. It genuinely affects them. And if you go into a situation with your child, you see your child is getting big, and it's like, okay, well, let's put you into sports, let's get you active, let's change your diet. Okay, cool. For some kids, that genuinely works, right? But then it might take some extra steps to say, like, what's going on with my kid? Is my kid okay emotionally? Because a lot of times when our kids are gaining weight at one, rapid speeds, or holding on to weight, it's typically something emotional that they're dealing with. And though you might not be equipped to deal with it, that's okay too. There's so many resources to help your children. There are so many free resources to help your children. And just finding or trying to find something to help your baby is more helpful than allowing them to keep feeling and stewarding those emotions and not having an outlet to release them, or finding food as the healing source, which food doesn't heal anything. It just gives you sometimes a euphoric feeling, which might create a food addiction, which gets worse and worse and worse and worse over time. I didn't heal my food addiction until after my weight loss surgery, when I went back and dealt with more trauma that I experienced as a kid. I identified it was a food addiction all through therapy. I had my surgery at 27. I went through like another round of therapy, I think 29. I think this was before my 30th birthday. So like That's a long time to have held on to these stuff. And at that point, I didn't even realize the stuff I was still holding on to from my childhood that was still tied to food. I did not make that connection between my emotional well-being and food. And so I wish my parents stepped in differently when I was a child, because a lot of times they did think me needing to work out or me eating better was going to change my weight, when in actuality I needed emotional support. I needed someone to sit and talk to me and listen to me, and that was not happening at home. So it's a, even if you're in a space where you cannot take it in, take it on, and help, and maybe like the healing conversations, giving them the resource where they can have someone to go to and like not escape, but like just process and deal with those things better. That will help break that relationship with food up. And I genuinely feel like if you're going to put your child in therapy, you should also go to therapy as well as a parent. And I'm saying that because the conversations I have now with my parents are very different, because we have all experienced some sort of therapy. Like various stages. We haven't done like family therapy together. However, we have all basically at this point led conversations for us to have our own intimate family conversations with one another without like another person having to be involved. But we've had a lot of great conversations. A lot of those conversations could have happened when I was younger, had we all just been in a more healed space and place, and maybe things would not have been as detrimental as it was as far as my weight, had I had those conversations back then. Things happen for a reason. I can have this conversation with the internet because of the things that I've been through to get me here, but it is extremely, extremely, extremely important, parents, instead of beating your kid up about their weight, have conversations with them about their weight. And if you feel like things are more emotionally tied to their weight or to food, seek assistance. Please seek assistance, because there are so many health complications that can come on with food addictions. There are so many health implications that can take place. There are so many emotional things that they can still deal with and have triggers from. And food is like a gateway to other stuff. So it's like, yeah, food makes me feel good and I do X, Y, and Z. And then they find something else that makes them feel good. And so it's like, I can do food, I can do this. That's how people can also become addicted to drugs, to sex, to all these other things. Like there are so many additional things that people can get addicted to easily. And food can be an addiction. And when you're in an emotional space where you feel like food is the only thing that's comforting, it creates addiction, right? So I just pray, I truly pray for our families, that there's a healing process for everyone in the family, and for us just to all have conversations. And this message is not just for moms and dads. Like genuinely, if you're an auntie, if you're a godmom, if you're a goddad, if you're a grandmother, grandfather, if you're a family friend and you see something that is along the lines of like, this baby isn't doing well emotionally, or they have signs of a food addiction, it's okay to speak up, but it's also okay to like, please provide resources. There's so many resources. I'm telling y'all, I can do a whole nother video just on resources alone that can come in and help. And I just, Jesus, please let this touch those that need it. I truly, truly pray for restoration and healing of our youth, Father God, because I don't want to see any more of our babies go through anything that I had to go through. It's a lot, but I don't want them to be in their 30s healing from things that happened when they were 5, 6, 7, 8. That's crazy. That's crazy. And parents, it's cool to lead by example. It's okay to also be in our 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s and allow ourselves to heal from things that happened to us and maybe heal from things that we've done to our own kids and things like that. Like, that's okay too. So it's okay to apologize. I'm just, it's okay. It's okay. But if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I will try my best to respond or reach out to people for assistance if needed. All right, bye.